just gonna go chop down some trees.
Alright, well don't be long, it's getting dark.
Don't worry, I'll only be a few minutes. See you soon. Hello? Hello? Anybody there? Hello? What the fuck is that? Is anybody there? Hello? Recently, I've been obsessed with these things called liminal spaces. You know, those places that just look normal and boring, but something just doesn't feel quite right about them. They make you feel uncomfortable or creeped out, and you don't really know why. I've been so obsessed with the idea of these places that I really wanted to create some of my own, so I decided to try it out in Minecraft. And here's how it went. Alright, so the first liminal space that I want to create is actually the picture that started it all. This image right here of some weird looking place with just some carpets and some walls. It gives you like this really weird feeling that you can't really quite describe, but yeah. So to recreate this, I'm using a texture pack, and this texture pack reskins sandstone and also oak planks into these blocks here. So this will be used for the walls, and then this will be used for the floor. So I'm pretty much just going to create a giant box, and then we'll work from there. Okay, so here's our big room to work with, and what I'm going to do is pretty much just create a layout that I'm happy with. I'm going to use these walls to create some rooms and create like a nice kind of, well, not really nice, it's going to be a creepy looking spot. I'm also going to create some openings, and in these openings, instead of just having it like this, I'll be putting some black concrete behind there to make it look really ominous and creepy behind it. Kind of gives you an idea of how it'll look. Obviously going up to the ceiling there, and then in Photoshop we'll go back and make this look really nice. Well, not nice, but we'll make it look creepier. And also we'll be using some sea lanterns as well, just for the lighting. And also to achieve like this realistic kind of lighting look, I am using a specific shader called Complementary Shaders, and I also have the ray tracing setting on so that we can get the lighting looking pretty realistic. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of spend some time and get a little area looking nice and creepy and how I want it to look. Alright, so here's the final look I'm going for. Obviously it's not very exciting, but it works, it does the job, and I have two openings here that look really ominous and creepy looking, and we're going to make it obviously look a whole lot better in Photoshop as well. And so I'm thinking the angle will be kind of back here. Keep in mind this will be for Instagram as well, so the sides will be chopped off. It'll just be like the central square resolution of the screen. And yeah, so let's take the screenshot and then head over into Photoshop. Alright, so instead of boring you with the whole process, I'm just instead going to show you exactly what I did. So here you can see our screenshot. Once again, like I explained, the sides will be cut off, so it'll actually kind of be this shape here, so it'll make more sense. And pretty much all that I've done is kind of created a little gradient between the black and then the light here. And to do that, I used an exposure layer. So let's just turn this on and you can see exactly what I did right here. So I made the whole area a lot darker as well. And then we also have like this kind of gradient, like I said, that leads into the darkness. So it doesn't just instantly go into blackness. It kind of fades into the blackness and it looks just a little bit more realistic. Even though, I mean, the light here should be lighting up the area in here a little bit, but the fact that it doesn't kind of makes it feel not right and gives you this kind of otherworldly feeling. And then to finish it all off, I added a little bit of a camera raw filter, and you can see that right here. We kind of increased the contrast a little bit, saturated the colors a little more, kind of added a bit of vibrance, and doesn't really change that much, but makes it a lot more interesting looking, I guess. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the first room. Now let's head over to the second one. Alright, so for the next one, I found this image here, and oh, I don't know about you guys, but this one really creeps me out. Just the peacefulness of the water and then the blackness of like the back areas, I love it, but I hate it. And I'm really excited to see what we can do with this in Minecraft. So let's go ahead and create a big box. I'm thinking I'm going to be using some smooth quartz blocks for this one. Alright, so here's our big smooth quartz box, and as you can see, the reflections are really shiny, which is exactly what I wanted, and I'm really happy about that. So let's first go ahead and lay out the kind of area, and we're going to start off with the pool. So I'm wanting this to probably be maybe 2 blocks deep, and we're just going to destroy a big rectangle for the pool. Alright, so here's the pool all done. I've also gone ahead and filled in the water just because it's a bit boring to watch that, of course. And now I think the only light source I want for this entire thing is to be from the pool. I feel like that's going to make it look a lot creepier. So let's go ahead and chuck in some sea lanterns. I don't really want to do too many, but let's just chuck one in at the end and also at this end. And then hopefully I made this odd. Yes, I did. So there we go. We can place one in the middle as well. Now let's just repeat this on the other side. And yeah, I really like the way that looks. That looks so nice with the reflections there, and in the water it kind of makes it ripply. I think I'm just going to leave the lighting at that because I think if I add too much more, it's going to overdo it a little bit. So next I'm going to go ahead and kind of lay out the areas I want around it. I don't want to copy the image too much like I said before. I do want to definitely utilize those big open black areas. So I think I'm going to make some pillars kind of like this on either side. And then we're going to extend these all the way up to the roof. And then in between these, a little ways back, I want to put in some black concrete like this. And then we'll do the same trick that we did for the first one and kind of make it more of a gradient towards the black and give it this really creepy look. And then I think I want to add an opening here, and then we'll have a wall that comes across this way, and then probably add in a door as well, just to kind of make it look a little bit more interesting, I guess. Alright, so here is pretty much the final product. Don't worry about this here, but yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. We got like this opening up here that has some darkness as well. Then we got the darkness over here, here, and also here. And then we've got our door as well. And then I think there's one more thing I want to add in, and that's some chairs, kind of like in the original picture. So I'm thinking maybe right here, we'll chuck in a stair, and then coming away from that, a quartz slab. And that just looks like a little kind of lounge chair that you'd see near a pool. And then let's maybe actually add in another one, maybe... Oh no, that's, yeah, we'll put it there, I think. Yeah, that's good. Something as well that kind of makes this really creepy is that usually the chairs would be made out of something kind of comfy looking, but this is made out of all of the same material for the rest of the place, which I think makes it kind of a little bit more unsettling. Like, why would the chairs be made out of this and not something more, like, comfortable, I guess, but... Yeah, so yeah, I'm actually really happy with the way this one turned out. The lighting, the reflections, everything is amazing. So let's go ahead and line ourselves up for a screenshot and then send it over to Photoshop. Alrighty guys, welcome to Photoshop once again. And like we did with the first one, I'm going to just show you exactly what I did instead of going through it, else this video is going to be like 100,000 hours long. And it is pretty boring anyway. So basically what I did for this one, once again, I kind of blended these really dark areas into the light areas. So instead of just being like a really harsh line here, we instead made it more of a gradient kind of into the darkness. So I added that in over here, here, and also here. And we added it in up top here as well. As you can see, this is how it looked before and after. And yeah, that just really adds a lot to the kind of ominous vibe of the place. And then I felt like it was a bit too bright up here, so I added in this as well, which makes it a little bit more darker, kind of like the light is fading off as we get into the higher areas. And with this layer, I also added in a little bit of darkness in the door because I kind of forgot to do that with the other one. And then the last thing to do, which really just made me really happy when I saw it, was adding a camera raw filter like the last one, but we went a little bit crazy with this one. As you can see right here, we changed the temperature so it's really cool looking. It's not cool as in like cool, but like cold looking, I guess. So we made the whole area really blue and upped the contrast a little bit. It gives us this really like otherworldly kind of vibe about the place. And yeah, I'm actually really happy with the way this one turned out. So now with this pretty much done, let's go ahead and head back into Minecraft and create the third build. Alright, so for this one, I found this post on Reddit, which is actually a video. And while this is playing, I will just let you guys know that all of these posts are actually from Reddit, except for the first one, and the links to them will all be in the description. So yeah, as you can see for this one, it looks really creepy. There's like a big void outside of the parking lot, and I really want to try and recreate that in Minecraft. So let's go ahead and create a giant box out of black concrete, and see what we can do with that. Alright, so here's our big box. I also went ahead and set the ground to andesite in this texture pack. It kind of looks like this road or like path texture, and I really recommend this texture pack if you want to go and create any of your own liminal space builds. But yeah, as you can see, this place doesn't really look the way I wanted it to look. It's not really dark in here, and we got this weird fog effect going on. So what I had to do was go and find a different shader to use, and actually found that Sonic Ether's Unbelievable Shaders, the ray traced version, is now free. So we can go ahead and switch over to that and see see how it looks. And yeah, that's definitely dark and yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and just place a light block down, and wow, that is perfect. That's exactly how I want it to look. We do have this weird kind of light over on the sides here, which I don't know what's going on there. Actually, if we go down to this angle, it does kind of go away, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, so with this, it is obviously really dark for this build, so it's going to be kind of hard to show you exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to be creating some light posts that just pretty much go up really high, kind of like in the original one. And instead of them going on both sides with the light, I'm going to have it on just one side, and then we're going to create this kind of rectangle with some grass in the middle as well. Alright, and here's the final design that I'm happy with. As you can see, we created these light posts, actually changed over to the andesite walls, and then we have like this light design here. It's kind of hard to show it because it's so dark, but yeah. And then we got this grass kind of platform, and then I went ahead and pasted this in a few other locations as well, and that'll give hopefully a similar kind of vibe to that video. So now let's go ahead and take the picture, and once again, head over into Photoshop. Alright, so for this one, I didn't really need to do much. All I did was just add a camera raw filter like all of the other ones. And here you can see the difference. So you can see the lights are a lot more kind of, I don't really know how to explain it, but they emit a lot more light than they did kind of before. I made the whole thing a little bit cooler, so it's a lot more blue looking. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This one kind of looks great on its own. Alright, so for the very last liminal space we will be creating in this video, I found this image here over on Reddit once again, and this one's kind of like a school hallway or something like that. It looks really creepy. I love it. I also have a really cool idea for this one that we'll have to do in Photoshop, but you'll see. So for this one, I'm going to have to obviously create a big long hallway, and I think for the floor, I'm going to be using andesite as it kind of looks really similar to the picture. And then for the walls, we'll be using probably stone bricks, maybe something else, I'm not entirely sure, but let's just go ahead and create the big hallway. Alright, so here's pretty much the final hallway. It is a bit of a weird setup. I've got like this light back here that, yeah, because if I close this off, then you can see it gets really dark really quickly. And yeah, obviously this is just way too dark. It's not how I want it. So I've got this light here, and then I'm going to place this block and then quickly go to the angle I want and take a screenshot at like the perfect lighting, because this is just too bright. But yeah, as you can see, we've made this kind of hallway. I've added in this block as well along the sides just for a little bit of extra detail. These as well are meant to be kind of lockers, and then these are like all of the rooms. And then we've got this one room here that is emitting light, and I'm going to be doing something pretty special in Photoshop. I'm going to add in a little shadow that's casted along this as if someone or something is standing in there. It kind of makes it just a little bit extra creepy. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is head back here to the angle I want. I'm going to place a block in front of this and then take a screenshot at the exact lighting level that I want. Alright, so here's the final picture. Pretty happy with the way this turned out. It took quite a lot of tries to get the lighting looking right, but we did end up changing it a little bit as well in Photoshop, and I'll show you exactly what I did. So the first thing I did was make it a little bit brighter, and then I added in a little more brightness, so it's kind of just easier to see. And then, like I said, for this shadow here, I went ahead and added an exposure layer and painted in this kind of shadow being casted from the door, and it kind of makes it look like some weird entity is standing there or something. Just gives it a little bit of extra creepiness. Like I felt like in the original picture, if that shadow was there, it would have made it look 100 times more creepy, but I feel like I just needed to add that in. And then to finish it all off, I added in a camera raw filter. As you can see, we just kind of darkened the already darker areas and just kind of added a little bit of extra color into everything. And yeah, so that's it for the 4 liminal space builds. If you enjoyed this different kind of video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Cheers for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.